When the Whittaker family was placed under the lens of the internet, they became highly monetized content. Creators flocked to their rural home, filmed their daily lives, and built a massive brand around a family with limited capacity to understand. The model relies on a specific mechanic. Because the subjects cannot advocate for themselves, content creators step in as self-appointed intermediaries. They control the narrative, solicit donations, and collect ad revenue while speaking on behalf of people who never signed a release form. We are now seeing this exact pattern weaponized in a completely different context. It is no longer restricted to those caught on camera. It is being applied to victims who are entirely missing. This summary breaks down a high-profile disappearance in Tucson. The victim is 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, abducted from her home. Panning down to the technical breach, the intruder deliberately disconnected her doorbell camera. Terrifyingly, Nancy's pacemaker monitoring app went completely dark. Since that night, Nancy Guthrie has been suspended in a void. Authorities have not confirmed her dead, nor have they found her alive. In that total inability to consent, her silence has been converted into a lucrative business model. Without an official representative speaking for the victim, an online gold rush takes hold. True crime streamers immediately rush in to fill the narrative vacuum, and the most prominent figure to attach himself to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is a YouTuber named Jonathan Lee Riches, operating the channel JLR Investigates. Riches physically inserted himself into the investigation. He relocated to Tucson, camped outside the Guthrie family properties with his cameras, and began broadcasting hours of speculative content to an audience of over 540,000 subscribers. The spectacle directly interferes with reality. Viewers watching his stream actually ordered Domino's pizza to be delivered to him at the active crime scene, forcing local deputies to issue public statements, begging the media to stop compromising a kidnapping investigation for internet content. Riches brands himself as a fearless investigator. The public record shows he is a convicted felon who spent years in federal prison for wire fraud. After his release, he violated his probation by traveling to Connecticut and impersonating the uncle of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooter to get on camera. Now, a new layer of legal trouble surrounds him. Court documents filed by his ex-partner detail severe allegations of physical violence, citing a persistent pattern of domestic abuse and strangulation that resulted in an order of protection. Currently, the loudest voice shaping the digital narrative of this abducted woman is a compromised and parasitic actor. He is actively monetizing a family's tragedy through YouTube super chats, filling hours of dead air with rumors. This diagram illustrates the broader economics of a missing person. A central information vacuum generates attention, which rapidly splits into multiple revenue streams: content monetization for streamers, direct extortion by criminals, and institutional public relations maneuvers. The exploitation quickly moves from social media clout to direct financial extortion. A California man named Derek Colella tracked the media coverage and sent fake ransom texts to the Guthrie family, attempting to extract 12 Bitcoin from grieving relatives before he was arrested. Local institutions have also drawn intense scrutiny for their handling of the case. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos authorized the release of the Guthrie crime scene after just 2 days, and his department waited 2 months before finally transferring critical DNA and hair evidence to the FBI. Looking at this local news headline, Sheriff Nanos was already facing severe political controversies. The County Board of Supervisors is actively questioning his leadership, particularly after he suspended a Republican rival and union leader within his own department during a tight election race. While the actual search for Nancy Guthrie floundered, the sheriff's department allegedly found a different way to leverage the case. Reports indicate they granted exclusive, behind-the-scenes access to reality TV crews, allowing producers to record police body cam video for future entertainment programming. When a victim is violently removed from the equation, internet grifters, outright scammers, and local law enforcement all try to cash in. The investigation becomes a resource to be mined. The Whittaker case showed us what happens when vulnerable people are exploited in plain sight. Creators point cameras at subjects who cannot protect themselves and extract value. The Guthrie case is the exact same mechanism, executed in absence. When there is no clear representative or attorney designated for the victim, who legally and morally speaks for the missing? In that silence, creators act as if they have consent. They manufacture narratives, broadcast unverified theories, and generate a localized circus that forces authorities to divert resources away from real-world police work just to manage trespassing YouTubers. Whether the victim is a disabled family in West Virginia or a missing 84-year-old woman in Arizona, the digital economy treats them identically. We have built a system that commodifies the vulnerable, ignores consent, and financially rewards the most exploitative voices in the room.